Everyone on campus knew me. Maybe because I'm the guy who can't keep his mouth shut for 2 seconds without blurting out some savage comeback or trash talk. Yeah, I'm basically the sassiest, loudest smarty pants here. But the real reason, I'm the closest thing to the one guy everyone drools over and dreams about. Nailith Arclight. Look, this dude's the human version of a supernova. 6 feet 2 inches of pure, how is he even real, energy. Rich family, muscles for days, and a face so perfect it could probably break your heart on sight. Honestly, he should come with a warning label, may cause sudden knee weakness. Now here's the kicker. Nailith is the smartest guy in class, with these insane study methods that look like witchcraft to normal people. And somehow, our study styles, mine, which is basically winging it with extra sass, and his, which is probably scientifically validated, match perfectly. One day, the teacher tossed this impossible math problem at us. Everyone looked like they wanted to cry, except me and Nailith. We both solved it, but using 2 completely different methods. The teacher was so shook, he literally made us teach the class how we did it. And just like that, we became the infamous study buddies. At first, Nailith was the strong silent type, hardly uttering a word, while I was busy trying not to lose my damn mind because, hello, he's ridiculously hot. Like, how does someone exist and be that gorgeous and smart? Fast forward through a bunch of study sessions, and somehow we became roommates. No clue how that happened. One minute I'm in my own chaos, the next I'm sharing a dorm with Mr. Perfect. But hey, I'm the only guy who can make the great hot Prince Nailith laugh within seconds. That's right, I'm basically a legend. And honestly, I'm kind of proud of that. Today was another day, another impossible math question from the teacher, and yep, we had to submit it by the end of class. As soon as I walked in, every classmate was already complaining. That math sucks. How can that old man even come up with these questions? My friend William groaned. Who knows, maybe he made a deal with Satan or something to torture us all, I replied, striding to my seat. Kylo, did you solve it? James asked, eyes wide. I sighed dramatically, because why not? I tried, then I cried, then I tried again. Now I'm here with an answer that could be right, or absolutely not right. They all laughed. So, what's the answer? They pressed. I plopped down on the bench and said, 42. Always go with 42 when life makes no sense. Cue laughter until the main event entered. Nailith Arclight, calm as ever, rocking jeans and a white tee, with a blue jacket casually slung over his shoulder. He lazily peeled out his earphones and headed straight to me. Was it 42? He asked, sitting beside me, eyes hopeful. I nodded like a drama queen. He smiled that dangerous smile. I knew it. This one took me the entire evening to solve, he said, calm but with that deep, hot as hell voice that made my heart do backflips. Evening, I scoffed. It took me the entire day and night. I had to take 5 hours of mental peace breaks, aka lying on my bed pretending to be dead. Then, some miracle hit and I did it. No idea how. Now only that old man knows if it's right or not. I punched the table for dramatic effect. I'm telling you, he definitely made deals with the devil. Probably said, hey, Mr. Devil, let's make some math questions that'll kill students but bring them back just to regret their life choices. Nailith stared at me for a beat then chuckled. And everyone was looking. Well, mostly because he was laughing, and his laugh, legendary. Like, only I have the power to make the great hot Prince Nailith actually laugh. Everyone knows that, so all eyes are always on us. Because who could miss that smile? The one that looks like a fallen angel caught mid-flight, so perfect, so beautiful, it makes me want to flip the table just to deal with the feelings. My attention flipped the moment Nailith suddenly opened his bag and pulled out a big bag of chips. Is this the flavor you were talking about? He asked, holding it up like a trophy. I stared at it. No, I wanted the garlic one. You're no use, I huffed dramatically. He sighed but couldn't hide the slight smile tugging at his lips. You should be grateful I even brought it for you. Oh yeah, you're acting like I begged you to bring it. You did it yourself 'cause you love feeding me, I smirked, reaching for the chips. He pulled his hand up, just out of reach. He smirked back. Take it if you want, shorty. Hey, I told you, don't call me short. You're only 12 centimeters taller than me. Don't make it a scene, I pouted, crossing my arms. You think 12 centimeters is little. I can't practically see you when we're standing, he teased, clearly enjoying how annoyed I was getting. I wasn't about to reply. I waited, watching him smirk, before suddenly lunging like a black cat and snatching the chips from his hand. But the position stopped me cold, our hands froze, his chest pressed against mine, and I felt his warm breath on my cheek. I gulped, trying to meet his eyes, and for a moment, it felt like time stopped. My entire body burned, and I saw my own reflection in his stunned gaze. Then reality snapped back when the teacher entered, making us both jump back. I immediately grabbed the chips and hugged the bag like it was my lifeline. Nalith said nothing but ran his fingers through his silky black hair, messing it up across his forehead before flipping it back with that effortless, perfect model vibe. Ha, what does he think he looks like? Some runaway Greek god model. And does he think I'll drool over him? Ha ha, he's absolutely right. Yes please, I could create a whole lake of drool for him and I'm proud of it. The teacher's voice pulled me out of my daydream. Mr. Walsh cleared his throat. So, about yesterday's math problem. Did anyone solve it? A student piped up. Sir, what are you asking? You know only the geniuses could do it. Another dramatically added. Sir, I tried. I looked at the question. The question looked back. We both gave up. Mr. Walsh sighed, rubbing his forehead. So, nobody else besides those two know the answer. Sir, if we knew, do you think we'd still be in emotional damage phase 3? Someone else chimed in, earning nods around the room. My brain can't handle the pressure, added another, making Mr. Walsh groan. Fine, since the rest of you are hopeless, Nalith. Kylo, what's the answer? He asked, looking at us. Nalith froze mid-motion, ruffling his hair like a startled cat, while I hugged the chips bag like a koala. I shoved it into my bag and smiled like the most obedient student ever. The answer is 42. Obviously, Nalith nodded, cool as ice. The rest of the class collectively squinted at their papers as if the question had suddenly turned into ancient hieroglyphs, and the idea that the answer was 42 felt like a cruel joke. Mr. Walsh, surprisingly impressed, said, 42 is correct. Amazing. Could you, walk the class through your process? I looked at Nalith, silently begging him to do the honors. He shook his head like I'd asked him to solve world hunger in front of a crowd. I glared at him and tried to tug his jacket. He dodged like I was invisible. So, I raised my foot to very gently stomp on his foot, missed, lost my balance, and gave the teacher an awkward smile. Fine, I'll do it. Clearing my throat, I said with all the sass I could muster. Of course, sir. First, we considered the limits of the Fibonacci drift factor under Euler's indirect sine pull, but only after accounting for the ghost variable inside the imaginary cube root matrix. Duh, someone whispered, what the hell is a ghost variable? Another whispered back, I don't know, but I think I saw that in Doctor Strange once. Are you sure we're even in the same class? A third asked, dramatically sighing. Mr. Walsh laughed nervously. Since, some of you don't understand, maybe you too could simplify it. I blinked. We did. Finally, Nalith managed to say. That was the simple version Kylo just explained. Silence. The entire class stared at us like we'd just opened a portal to Mars. Whispers floated around. Are they even human? They're not just study buddies, they're soulmates of the equation. I ship it. Math husbands. Brainmates. Whatever. One girl giggled, making me want to disappear into a hole. Meanwhile, James and William were proudly nodding like we'd just won the Nobel Prize in sass. The teacher laughed. All right, Nalith and Kylo, thank you, I think. The rest of you, just put 42 and pretend you understood. Everyone nodded dramatically as Nalith and I awkwardly smiled and sat down. After class ended, Nalith dragged me along to his basketball practice match. I tagged along because, honestly, I was bored out of my mind. I plopped down in the front row, completely unbothered, chips resting on my lap, legs crossed. Watching him fly across the court like he had cheat codes activated, I wore my best judgmental expression but acted unimpressed. My other friends, James and William, followed too. You got some good stuff there. Share some, James said, eyeing my chips. Nah, get your own, I said, munching a handful, eyes on Nalith as he played like the god he was, sweat clinging to his half-sleeve jersey, muscles flexing with every move. He nailed goal after goal, high-fiving teammates and occasionally glancing at me. I kept my cool and gave him a casual thumbs up. The goals kept coming. Another. And another. His numbers on the scoreboard were outpacing my mood swings by a mile. He scored again and looked right at me. I muttered, "Show off. I hope you trip on air." Mid-dribble, Naileth threw a wink over his shoulder just before effortlessly sinking another basket. I shot back louder this time. I said, "Miss one, damn it. You're making the rest look like traffic cones." James laughed. "Why do you sound like a bitter coach married to the MVP?" I rolled my eyes. "Please. I'm not married. I'm cursed. Married with him." My heart was already doing a happy dance. I pouted and crunched another chip just as he nailed another perfect basket. "Damn, why don't you miss a goal just once?" I shouted. He smirked. "Never." With zero effort, he tossed the ball and scored again. His eyes locked on mine, silently saying, "See, I never lose." Screw him. I rolled my eyes and kept eating. William whispered, "He literally looks at you after every goal." Tragic. I was hoping he'd glance at someone else so I could eat in peace, I said, digging for bigger chip pieces in the bag. Suddenly, wham, a stray ball rocketed toward the bleachers like a missile aimed right at me. I was so focused on hunting for chip chunks I didn't flinch or even look up. Like royalty, I didn't need to worry, someone else would handle it. As expected, Naileth moved faster than anyone, diving to slap the ball away just in time. He landed, panting slightly, arms crossed, and smirked at me. "You're welcome. Took you long enough. My chip almost broke. And why are there no big pieces? Did you wrestle with the bag on the way here?" "It's all crumbs like my bones," I said deadpan, even though my heart was pounding at how he'd protected me. He chuckled low and ruffled my hair, that damn voice sending shivers down my spine. "I'll make sure next time I bring snacks, they stay perfect, okay?" "You better," I said, glaring. He smirked and jogged back to the court. William shook his head. "He nearly broke his ankle for you, and you're worried about chips." I rolled my eyes. "These chips are imported. He knows the stakes." James and William exchanged knowing glances, whispering to each other. They're such an old married couple. Totally. Hate each other on the outside but love hard on the inside. They both giggled. Later, after the game, Naileth strutted off the court still glowing like he'd just stepped out of a Gatorade ad, all effortless and impossible to look away from. I tossed a cold water bottle at him like a lazy king granting his knight a reward. "Here, hydrate or whatever." He caught it, twisting the cap open and gulping down the water. Then, with a cocky grin, he asked, "So, was I hot?" I tried to look away, but seriously, why the hell did he look even hotter after playing like that? Why was his sweat making me hot? Our eyes locked. He smirked at me like he knew exactly what he was doing. My eyeballs moved in sync with his, weirdly in tune. My heart flipped and fluttered, completely unaware that William and James were behind us, covering their mouths trying not to laugh. "Yup, totally not dating," James whispered. "Just soul-bonded weirdos with emotional telepathy," William nodded, like they'd just solved the world's greatest mystery. Later, at the library, Naileth sat lazily at the table, casually flipping through a book while I searched everywhere for the one I needed. Where the hell was it? Then I spotted it, on the highest shelf, obviously out of my reach. I tiptoed, stretching my arm, but no luck. Why the hell was it so high anyway? Suddenly, another hand appeared beside mine, delicate, long fingers effortlessly grabbing the book. The presence behind me was warm and consuming as his chest pressed lightly against my back. "Naileth," I whispered, feeling my heart and ears heat up. He smiled. "See, you're too short to reach it." He handed me the book. I couldn't meet his eyes, my face was burning way too red. I took the book silently and muttered a slow, low, "Thank you." He noticed my silence. "What's wrong?" he asked softly, then gently pressed his index finger under my chin, lifting my face to meet his eyes. For a split second, his eyes flickered, twitching like something inside him was shaking. Then he looked away. "Ah, the book, you going to read that now?" He turned his hand to cover part of his face, trying to look cool, changing the subject. I nodded, slipping back to my table. Out of the corner of my eye, I saw Naileth rub his face, his ears flushed. Then he threw a small punch at the wall, like he was trying to control some wild emotion or urge. When he settled back down, he returned to his reading as if nothing had happened. I didn't dare ask. I was way too overwhelmed. We were silent, reading, when a tsunami hit, James and William stormed in. Yo, y'all coming to my birthday party tomorrow night, right? William asked. Yeah, of course, I said. Nailith just nodded. Good. Just wanted to make sure. You two definitely need to come, James added. I raised an eyebrow. Why? William made the most disgusting puppy eyes possible. 'Cause you're my unofficial beloved parents. I wanna see you giving me blessings. Nailith and I exchanged awkward looks. Shut the fuck up and get away, I said, smacking him with my book. He dramatically clutched his chest and ran off, with James shouting for us to definitely be there. I sighed and glanced at Nailith, my fingers playing with the pages of my book. Wanna be his parents, I teased. That'd make us married, he said suddenly, eyes on his book. His voice left me speechless. Ah ha ha, you wanna get married? I laughed, acting cool. He flipped a page without looking up. With you? Yes, very much. He glanced at me, and I froze. Huh, I blinked. Page 169. It's quite interesting, he said nonchalantly. I blinked again, nodded, and went back to reading, wondering if I'd just heard him wrong. After studying just enough, we headed back to our dorm rooms, 2 beds side by side. Lemme shower first, I said. Nailith only nodded, scrolling his phone in bed. I walked in wearing a towel and an oversized shirt. The cold water calmed me in my racing heart. I thought it was fine, but of course, luck wasn't on my side. Suddenly, the lights went out. Blackout. Great. Ah, Nailith, you there? I asked, opening the door slightly. Yeah, you need lights or something. His voice sounded almost awkward. I said yes, and he stood outside holding his phone's flashlight for me. I jerked the door open just enough to slip in and immediately started drying off, throwing on shorts and a shirt. Thanks, I smiled, walking out, only to stumble on thin air. Nailith caught me instantly, his hands on my waist as my hands landed on his shoulders. My eyes closed. His flashlight accidentally swung up and shone right into my face. Eyes closed tight, I didn't see his stunned expression. Nailith stared at me, my brownish-yellow hair wet and pushed back, forehead and face damp, lips and nose pink from the cold water. A huge gulp escaped his throat as he looked utterly lost, gripping my waist tighter. My oversized shirt slipped loose, revealing my collarbones and chest, making him gulp even more. Nailith, the hell are you doing? Planning to blind me? I shouted, making him snap back to reality. Oh, sorry, he said awkwardly, moving the phone away. He stared at his palm, shook his head like he couldn't believe himself. You okay? I asked, stretching my arms. He nodded, eyes flickering back to my waist. Then sighed, like he was in disbelief about his own thoughts. The next day, everything felt off. Normal, but tense. I tried to act cool but secretly hoped too much. Then came William's birthday party, a complete mess and a turning point in my love life. The bar was packed, and we took up the entire corner, a banner hanging on the wall. William's birthday, and my parents' accidental anniversary. I scoffed. What is that banner? William grinned like it was his birthright. It's my party. I get to be delusional. Nailith muttered, you're always delusional. But his lips curled like he secretly liked it. William declared, thank you, you two are my unofficial parents. I shall inherit your combined genius and unmatched sarcasm. James nodded solemnly. I rolled my eyes. I want a refund on this child. James sipped juice like tea. Too late. The custody is spiritual. I exchanged glances with Nailith and sighed. Why does he look so happy? There was music, pizza, and someone put a party hat on a plant. William was so hyped he was almost dancing on the hotpot. I sat in the corner judging everything with a paper fan I found somewhere. Nailith sat too close beside me, stealing chips from my plate. William shouted, let's play truth or dare. Everyone nodded eagerly. Yes, they all looked like excited chicks. William smirked at me. Kylo, truth or dare? I sighed. Neither. I choose death. James said, incorrect. You choose dare. William grinned. I dare you to compliment Nailith, sincerely. The room went dead silent. I awkwardly looked at Nailith, who was munching chips with his mouth full. The weight of the world pressed down on me. I can't let my feelings slip, that he's gorgeously perfect, handsome, even his breathing is perfect. Hair perfect, voice perfect, eyes perfect, soul perfect. Instead, I said, coldly, you are tall, consistently breathing, passable at math. Nailith rolled his eyes. Wow, I've never felt more seen. I fanned myself. Take it before I make you cry. He sighed, chuckling softly. The game went on. James had to dance with the plant. Hilarious. William wore a tiara and announced he was our love child. Ridiculous. Someone sang like a dying puppy. Another dared to confess to the delivery man. Someone else dared to drink 2 glasses and promptly passed out. And me, I insulted everyone alphabetically and still somehow made it poetic. That's my specialty. And finally, it was his turn. Naileth and William looked way too happy, eyes gleaming with mischief. Naileth, your turn. Truth or dare? William asked, but his eyes, and James's too, were silently praying Naileth would pick dare. And he did. Quote. Dare, Naileth said, strangely calm, while I was losing my mind inside. James, with perfect timing, grinned. So we dare you to kiss someone in this room. You've got 3 seconds. I choked on my soda. Excuse me, what the fuck? Naileth stayed oddly composed, eyes scanning the room. Me, I was going crazy inside but trying to act chill. Who would he kiss? He never had crushes, or did he? Who could it be? Oh my god, he's actually gonna kiss someone in front of me. Why am I not blind already? I should have died before this day. He can't kiss someone, I can't watch. Before I could spiral more, a hand gently cupped my cheek. My eyes widened. Naileth's eyes locked onto mine, the room holding its breath. He smiled softly, leaned in, and kissed me. Soft, sure, perfect, for 3 whole seconds. 1 2 3. William screamed, my parents are married. James wiped a fake tear. Our ship has sailed, beautifully, Titanic, but without the drowning. I couldn't focus on them. My eyes stayed wide on Naileth. He kissed me, no hesitation. He chose me. I stared, horrified but stunned. He smiled again, whispering just for me, I stopped because it's a dare. If we were alone, I'd kiss you until every note you've memorized turns into my name. My face heated up. This is real. He nodded. It is. He patted my hair and sat back, handing me a packet of chips, before turning to William and James, who were hugging in pure happiness. I testify as Kylo Vale's husband, he said, making them scream in joy. Chaos erupted around us. Me, my heart was pounding like crazy. I buried my face in my hands, face red, ears red, everything red. Total blushing tomato. William grabbed a bottle like a microphone and declared, now for the cake. And someone grabbed my ship captain hat, I'm about to officiate destiny. James nodded seriously, I'm suing these two for sure. But can I complain? I can't. I stole a side glance at Naileth, who caught my eyes, smiled, and sneakily held my hand under the table, our fingers intertwining. My blush deepened as I tried to hide my face but didn't let go. Later, using the excuse of the bathroom, Naileth pulled me away, though no one really bought that excuse. William and James just gave us thumbs up and knowing winks. Naileth nonetheless took me upstairs, out to the balcony. The cold breeze hit us, the beautiful night sky stretching endlessly above. He instantly pinned me against the railing, hands on either side of me, caging me in. I couldn't even look at him, too shy. What you did there? I whispered. Can I do it again? He asked, smiling. His eyes were dreamy, his voice gentle but filled with excitement. He searched my face, trying to meet my eyes, while I kept looking anywhere but at him. I just gulped and nodded, embarrassed. He instantly cupped my face and kissed me again. This time, longer, deeper. Our lips moved in perfect sync. Should we officially become his parents? He asked softly against my lips. And for that, we need to get married, he whispered. You want to marry me? I asked, heart pounding. Didn't I answer that earlier? If it's you, then yes. Very much. He smiled, holding my cheeks so fragilely. I felt a sudden sniffle, overwhelmed. You're cringe. I tried to act cool and sassy, but it wasn't working. Maybe you're right, cause whatever things you made me do for you till now, just to stay closer to you is sure cringe too, he said with a smile. I was confused. For you, trying and becoming the best at math, intentionally raising my hand together with you, just so you'd see me, blackmailing the instructor to make us dorm mates, sure, it's all cringe corny. But totally worth it, cause now I have you in my arms. His hand sneaked down to my waist. I was shocked, facepalming. He'd been doing all that, for me. To be with me. My emotions spun like a roller coaster as my heart raced and my mind struggled to catch up. So, what do you say? He asked. Can I officially call you mine? Can I note you and mark you as mine in my notebook? You're so corny, I said, laughing or maybe crying, I couldn't tell. My hands instantly held onto his jacket as I nodded. You're cringe, but I'll allow it. Just make sure your notes know I belong to you. He smiled, nuzzling his nose against mine. I'll make sure the whole world knows that. With that, he kissed me again, passionately this time. I kissed him back just as deeply. Now that was what I called a perfect love story. We kissed long and deep until we heard shouting. Are y'all doing lovey-dovey stuff? James called out. My genius dads, shall I get the marriage certificate? William teased. Shut the fuck up, you both. I shouted back before bursting into laughter with Nalith, who held me so close, then hugged me tightly as I hugged him back. It felt so magical, so unreal, but it was real. I felt happy, truly happy. And I knew this happiness would last longer than anything else before. We both were sure, we could do anything to make it last, deeper and longer.